But there's also provisions in there too that say if the lights are going to go out, then we can extend those timelines on decarbonization, right? Keep the coal or gas plant longer if the commission finds that it has to.
You promise you're going to make the right decisions, right, to lower the cost, because right now it's all about costs for us, because that's what we're hearing as legislators.
And the price of energy in Illinois continues to go up, maybe not as much as it was anticipated, but still about 50% higher what it was this time last year. As legislators prepare to come back for fall veto session, they could take up more changes to Illinois energy policy. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Surely you've felt the pinch from your energy bill going up. In residential areas, it's one thing. For a business owner, it's another. I've heard stories of people seeing their energy bills at a big business go from $10,000 a month to $40,000 a month. How are they supposed to make up that difference every month? You've got just a whole host of concerns, and understanding the background here. Several years ago, the governor signed the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, which essentially set up a runway for the closure of coal-fired power plants in Illinois. That baseload generating capacity of coal-fire powered plants, and how that adds to the baseload energy needed for our society to operate as it does. But of course, concerns over environmental issues and the goal of decarbonization. There have been efforts in the Democrat-controlled legislature to get away from coal-fired power plants and other greenhouse emission releasing energy production, regardless of all of the different types of systems that are put onto a lot of modern coal-fired power plants. Obviously, there's still the issue of coal ash and what to do with that environmental concern, but ultimately, you've got Illinois on that path to get rid of coal-fired power plants, and that's part of the reason that the energy market has reacted the way it has, according to the grid operators like PJM and MISO. Illinois is split between these two grid operators, and they go out and they, manage and sell energy and such. But we've seen higher prices across the board, and they say it's partly because of decarbonization efforts, but it's also the increased demand that there is, and there's a lot of demand. You've got, AI, electric vehicles, data centers. You got Governor J.B. Pritzker up in Chicago talking about quantum computing, and I mean that's you got to imagine just take a significant amount of energy. But you've got several hearings that have happened in Illinois legislative committees. One being a House committee on energy and utilities, another being a Senate committee on energy and utilities. They've had like 3 or 4 hearings. They've got another hearing set today in one of those committees. So we're going to hear a lot more about this as they prepare to come back for fall veto session October 14th. Yesterday's hearing, nearly over 4 hours long, by the way. And here's State Senator Terry Bryant right at the top of the hearing with State Senator Steve Stottleman talking about a 800-page amendment to a House bill that the Senate may take up.
Last hearing, there was indication that the language was not going to be right in order to repeal the nuclear moratorium.
We've flagged that for review. We'll get back to you, spokesperson Bryant.
So this measure, 800 pages, it's got tons of different things that it's adding and subtracting from state law. One thing that's been talked about is the nuclear moratorium. Should it be lifted? We did it for small modular nukes, but with the continued increased demand on energy and the increased price, that's led to even Governor J.B. Pritzker saying, yeah, we should lift the nuclear moratorium. Is that going to be part of this sweeping measure that's going to give tax credits to battery storage manufacturers and further refine things to assist and entice people to get more solar or wind and such? Not part of the hearing. They held their own news event. The Nuclear Energy Information Service said that lifting the nuclear moratorium would bring about a whole bunch of bad things, including, they said, just nuclear waste being an issue.
If you repeal the moratorium, the barn door is open, and we will have no one but ourselves to blame for that.
Again, that's David Kraft with the Nuclear Information Service. State Senator Sue Rezin got into an interesting back and forth with the Illinois Commerce Commission executive director about, well, just all of these, priorities that the state's put into state law about decarbonization, focusing on renewables. She says it's just not going to cut it for the demands that there are.
The reality of what we're facing in the future with the need to put power on quickly in the cheapest way is not going to fit within what you're telling us.
She said that the issue of natural gas has not been part of this equation. She says it should be. It's much cheaper to set up a nuclear gas peaker plant than it is to set up a whole bunch of battery storage facilities connected to 1,500 acres of solar panels and 12 miles worth of windmills. She says it's just not going to cut it. And she says natural gas is really where a focus should be allowed to happen.
We truly are interested in making sure we have enough power so we don't have brownouts. We heard people that from third parties testify, we need natural gas. We need to build out natural gas. So, and what you're seeing right now are, along with coal, you're seeing natural gas plants in our state go offline because of CEJA and the imminent, the dates that were put in place for CEJA. So they're choosing not to.
So, Rezin talking about just the law itself is worrying people that there could be brownouts and blackouts and, energy controls put in place to make sure energy is going to where it needs to go. And that could impact residential. It could impact small business, could impact farmers and such. Jonathan Feipel, he is the Illinois Commerce Commission executive director, and the interesting back and forth he had with Sue Rezin. He says, listen, I mean, there are circuit breakers in the law for if there is a moment where they're like, oh no, we're about to lose power to hospitals and it's just going to be chaos.
But there's also provisions in there too that say if the lights are going to go out, then we can extend those timelines on decarbonization, right? Keep the coal or a gas plant longer if the commission finds that it has to.
So the commission will make that call, and something that the law allows for. But what are the determining factors in making that call? Rezin said that they feel that the legislature has been completely cut out of this, and whatever they're talking about now, possibly passing for fall veto session, impacting energy policy, is expected to increase prices for consumers.
The caps are off, which allows you to build everything out. The wind and the solar and the battery, which is expensive. So the rates are going to go up.
And she went on to say that this whole thing, just for the ICC, again, the legislators feel like they don't have any control over this.
You promise you're going to make the right decisions, right, to lower the cost. Because right now it's all about costs for us, because that's what we're hearing as legislators.
Yeah, and you can see it in your own energy bill.
You're smart people. You say a lot of buzzwords, but it's up to you and it's not up to us. But we're the ones that will hear about it. And we have zero authority here.
So the hearing went on and on and on. Lots of statements about the importance of decarbonization and battery storage and technology. And you had groups there and environmental groups there, and the Illinois Farm Bureau was there, and they said they can't support the measure as it's on the table right now.
Unfortunately, this legislation fails to include a requirement for an AMA for battery storage projects. Wind and solar projects have faced a requirement in state law to have an AMA for years. And we don't understand why an energy storage project would not face the same requirement.
And this is the idea of if a battery storage facility is built on farmland, maybe eminent domain's involved, or maybe even the farmer's involved with it too, but the operator of that battery storage facility lets the battery storage facility go by the wayside. Well, who's going to take care of that property? Who's going to clean that property up and, remedy the toxic batteries that are there? So that's just one of the issues. There's also siting issues and local control issues, and Bill Bodine with the Illinois Farm Bureau said that all this combined it's not gonna work for them.
There's a few beneficial changes we think are included in the bill, but unfortunately it creates too many concerns and we do have to oppose it. Too
many concerns and they have to oppose it. Again, this is like the third or fourth hearing they've had on this bill, signaling that it's going to be something they bring up during fall veto session. 800 plus pages, all kinds of provisions in there about battery storage and tax credits, and there's some consumer protection stuff in there about the solar market and should people have access to the subsidies they said they were going to be able to get since it's not available, how all that works. just another thing we're going to have to track for you here at the Center Square when they get ready for fall veto session. There's actually another hearing on this issue later on this morning, so we'll have to be watching that, and surely it's going to be a long one. So, hey, that's why you need to be back with us Monday morning. We will, of course, get you everything you need to know for Illinois in Focus Daily, only with the Center Square.